Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this edition of the Primetime Newscast in the English language on Canal International. Begin with our top stories. The SDF party has firmly condemned the EGBEKAW massacre in Manfi, which took place in the southwest region of Cameroon on the night of November 5, breaking November 6. The call on separatists to put an end to their inhuman acts. And Douala City dwellers have expressed mixed feelings with the ongoing road rehabilitation and majority complaint works being carried out during the day instead at night contributes to what they describe as unbearable traffic circulating in some areas in Douala has been described as a nightmare. And a campaign pressing for the release of Canal, the correspondent in the far north region, Aminu Alium, has gone viral on different social media platforms, according to a release from Canal International editors Tuesday, November 14. It reads, on Monday, November 13, 2023, our colleague Aminu Alium was arrested. Those are major stories. We'll be right back. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this edition of the Primetime Newscast in the English language on Canal International. A campaign pressing for the release of Canal correspondents in the far north region of Cameroon has gone viral on different social media platforms, according to a release from Canal International editors Tuesday, November 14. It reads, on Monday, November 13, 2023, our colleague Aminu Alium, Canal International correspondent in Marwa, was arrested by elements of the Far North Judicial Police Division in Marwa. The reporter was then taken to Manu Military Garwa in the city's police department without official communication from the competent prosecutors or even the police. We have learned from various sources close to the file that Aminu Alium has been arrested for having disseminated on one or more social networks news relating to an alleged brawl between the president of one of the judicial jurisdiction based in the department of Benue. At the moment, our colleague is in custody at the premises of the judicial police. The situation of Society of Editors of Canal International believes that in addition to the fact that Aminu Alium presents sufficient guarantees of representation, he enjoys a well-known residence, a strong social ties that allow him to appear free. We appeal for all the lights to be shed on the case and, of course, for the release of our colleague who can remember appear free if he is given the chance to do so. We talk something else. The SDF party has firmly condemned the EGBEKAW massacre, which took place in Manfi, southwest region of Cameroon, on the night of November 5, breaking November 6, 2023. The call on the separatists to put an end to their inhuman acts. As we hear the following story with our Northwest correspondent, Annie Collins. Annie.
The Social Democratic Front, SDF party, has joined the spate of national and international condemnations of the mass killings in EGBEKAW in Manfi Central Subdivision of the Southwest region. In a press conference in Bamenda recently, the new SDF National Secretary for Human and People's Rights says the carnage cannot leave any right-thinking person indifferent.
The entire SDF family extend their heartfelt condolences to the families whose relations were brutally murdered. The people of the Northwest and Southwest regions have been victims of torture, extortion, kidnapping for over 6 years and counting. No right-thinking person will be silent when fellow human beings are being maimed, by bloodthirsty demagogues.
The former member of parliament has formulated 4 points as suggestions to stop the 7-year-old deadly crisis.
We are also calling on the state and separatists to stop the massive killing of armless civilians and work towards peace by declaring a ceasefire and ensuring the following. We are calling on all Anglophones to be able to gather together and come out with an Anglophone conference that will be organized to come out with the grievances of all the Anglophones. This will be followed by an organized meeting that will involve a presentation of facts for an inclusive and sincere, meaningful dialogue between the Anglophones.
In the presence of some party militants at his Metaquarter office in Bamenda 2 subdivision, the Shadow Cabinet Minister for Defense renews calls for all detainees of the current crisis to be released and for thorough investigations to track authors of the EGBEKAW massacre to be brought to book.
And Douala city dwellers have expressed mixed feelings with the ongoing road rehabilitation works in the city of Douala. Majority complaint works being carried out during the day instead at night, contributing to what they have described as unbearable traffic. Circulating in some areas of Douala has been described as a nightmare. More in the following story. An argument between a passenger and a motorbike rider at the Tulendokoti area in Cameroon's economic hub, Douala. The passenger doesn't want to alight as this is not the destination he gave before boarding the bike. The transporter has no choice but to end here as the roads have been barred because of ongoing rehabilitation works which extend right up to CCC roundabout. I carried him from Bona Musadi right here, and we concluded on 1,000 francs until I arrived here and discovered that the roads were blocked. And so he's demanding for 500 francs, where I take 500 francs. But I'm rejecting it, saying he must take 300 francs, and I go 700 francs, because from here, he can take another bike with just 200 francs CFA. That's what is creating the tension. Road users are now forced to reroute, while others cover kilometers on foot. To some people, the road construction works are for their good. Others see it as causing pains to the citizens. So many works would have been done at night, allowing people to cross over freely during the day. Trekking now is not a problem. It's for our own good. This is work that is supposed to be done at night and not during the day, at least to ease the movement of people. It is the same scenario between the Kululon market and Kamiabasi, yet the placement of pavements is described as the best solution to the road, though it is difficult to get across. The road had fast degraded with holes everywhere, vehicles constantly trapped. We are happy to see such works going on here, though it's affecting everybody, but it's worth applauding. The roads are undergoing rehabilitation works. We are forced now to take secondary roads in the quarters to ease our movements. The bad state of the roads in Douala remains a bitter pill to swallow for all road users who constantly feel the impacts on their vehicles and daily activities. And in an effort to combat diabetes epidemic, experts are shedding strategies, light on the causes and prevention strategies for diabetes in dominant context, with the prevalence of the chronic condition on the rise, understanding the underlying factors and implementing preventive measures is crucial in combating its impacts on individuals and communities. More on the story with our student journalist on internship, Kizi Kiga.
As the number of people living with diabetes continues to soar worldwide, it is essential to examine the causes and prevention strategies. Ghislaine Folong-Kamta is an endocrinologist.
Diabetes is when your fasting blood sugar is more than 1.26 grams per liter in the body. And you can also say is when it's at any time in the moment in the day is when the glycemia is more than 2 grams per liter in the body.
Weight gain and obesity are major risk factors for type 2 diabetes.
C'est l'obésité.
Patients are complaining of urinating a lot, losing weight, and tiredness, or is really thirsty. So that is a common sign of diabetes.
Patients should accept that they have diabetes.
La première chose, c'est qu'il faut accepter.
The first thing is to learn how to accept it. Accept the fact that you are diabetic. Be optimistic. And when you are optimistic, it permits you to do your follow-up properly.
Toutes les autres recommandations qui vont avec.
The management of diabetes is the first and most important thing is to change the lifestyle. When you say change the lifestyle, is to eat healthy, is to reduce consumption of alcohol and tobacco, is to drink a lot of water and do more exercise, physical exercise.
Through a collaborative effort involving individuals, healthcare providers, policymakers, and community organizations, it is possible to create a future where diabetes is less prevalent and its impact is minimized.
And the Minister of Public Health says the prevailing rate of diabetes in Cameroon is between 6 to 8% in 2023. Regrets that most Cameroonians do not know their diabetes status and as a result are dying in ignorance. And on World Diabetes Day, observed this November 14, the Minister of Public Health in a press declaration calls for more consciousness on the side of the population to prevent the disease. Take a listen in this excerpt.
Unfortunately, about 80% of Cameroonians' population is unaware of this diabetic status. Furthermore, any people living with diabetes are often diagnosed late when they already have one or more complications related to this disease. This can lead to an increased need for medical care, disease quality of life, and even premature death. It's therefore important to act, and above all, to act quickly and well. This includes prevention, early diagnosis, and education of healthy behaviors. Indeed, in many cases, it's possible to delay and even prevent type 2 diabetes and its complication by appointing and maintaining healthy habits.
And the Audit Bench of the Supreme Court has given their inputs to the members of Parliament as they await the 2014 Finance Law in a meeting with the Finance and Budget Committee of the National Assembly. The two structures reviewed the key elements of the budget examination prior to the exercise of having to build efficient audit in our structures. More on the story with our reporter, Hysen Chia.
As the members of Parliament await the deposition of the 2024 proposed finance law during the ongoing parliamentary session, it is imperative to have at the back of their minds key elements that will guide them in the examination, like the recommendations made during the budgetary orientation plenary sittings, the circular of the President of the Republic on the budget preparation, the report on the implementation of the current state's budget with barely a month to the end of the year. It is in this light that the Finance and the Budget Committee of the National Assembly and the Audit Bench of the Supreme Court met at the Hemicycle this November 14 to review the challenges of implementation and prepare auditing tools. Chaired by the committee head, Rosette Julien Motimbo, the meeting equally had at the center, scanning the pressing needs of Cameroonians as the 2024 state budget will soon hit the tables of the people's representatives. The role of the audit bench in the exercise is to ensure good governance by informing the population on the implementation of public finance and putting at the disposal of the lawmakers efficient control mechanisms to follow up the actions of public contractors. The process is equally aimed at reiterating the links between the legislative, the executive, and the judicial bodies in the management of the state's budget for the benefit of Cameroonians.
And the mortal remains of Senator Simon Anja arrived the Yaoundé Simaleng airport last night with family members, senators, loved ones, and his PCC Christian family to receive him. The senator and traditional ruler went for medical attention in Turkey, where he died last November. 7 remains is presently at the Yaoundé General Hospital mortuary waiting official parliamentary tribute. More on the story with Beatrice Ngamo.
Family members, loved ones, Senate members led by the Vice President Mfon Tabetando, the Secretariat headed by Secretary General Bernard Wongolo, the PCC Christian family were at the Yaoundé Simaleng Airport to receive the remains of Senator Simon Anja Ngwo 1 week after his demise. He left for Turkey to get medical attention, now returning home in a casket. Dying, he has decided to follow Jesus Christ. His CMF brothers leads on. In a brief service by Reverend Pastors of PCC Bastos.
That God is going to stand by them, most especially within this period, giving them the strength and the comfort that they need in times such as this.
The corpse of the septuagenarian was then conveyed to the Yaoundé General Hospital mortuary for a brief stay before official parliamentary tribute. The politician and traditional ruler of Bantankwa village in Akwaya, Manu division of the southwest region of Cameroon, has been senator since 2013, was serving his third mandate. He will be
and may his soul rest in perfect peace. And that brings us to the end of this edition of the Primetime Newscast in the English language on Canal International. Thanks so much for watching. Coming up next is the brief with Lil Peugeot. As for me, I will be back same time, but this time around tomorrow. Good night.